music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I think it's just vapor.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Welcome to Ticket Weeknights
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos again. As always, apologies for anybody who's listening to the Royals. I keep saying this sarcastically, but I know some of you guys genuinely feel this way. We do have the Royals. They're playing right now. We do not have them on the FM airwaves. Again, just another reminder. Sorry if you've heard it already. But 2 days, horrible weather, 90-mile-an-hour winds, not super friendly to our satellites and towers. So while we are waiting to get that fixed, we know which part it is. Just a matter of time before we can get our hands on it so we can actually go and fix the darn thing. But I'll give you an update on the Kansas City Royals. 4-1 at top of the sixth inning. Again, your Royals 59-60. The Washington Nationals, really not great this year, 47-71. So again, apologies if you want to hear the Royals and then you hear my voice. You're like, who the hell is this guy talking to me? That is the reason. We are working on it. We love the Royals, and we know you guys love them too. We'll do everything we can. Try to get that back to you as soon as possible. But with that being said, Rudy, I got you joining me again for Ticket Weeknights. Had a breather. I think last week you did a show with me on Monday, correct?
Yes. Yeah, Monday.
Yeah. Okay. How's it going on a Tuesday night?
Pretty good. I think I had work this morning, obviously, and then hit a nice little workout, and then kind of just rested all day. So I've been pretty relaxed right now. So I'm actually enjoying my Tuesday. So.
And then do you still have baseball with Wesleyan coming up? Are you?
Yes. So right now, obviously, we're in the off season, so a lot of it's on your own. So I'm kind of, the way my schedule's kind of set up, it's like lift early in the week and then hit the last couple days of the week. So right now, just a lot of lifting, and then hopefully I'm planning. It started today, but I'm adding some cardio in there now. So got to get that part there before season gets here for sure. So
yeah, what cardio do you usually do?
So for me personally, I just try to do a lot more sprint stuff just because that's really all we're doing. It's like we don't need to be long distance runners yet.
Right.
Definitely helps for like the stamina part, but when I am trying to train at least some of my speed skills there that I got, it's usually just sprints and like working more on like my takeoff from bases, like getting the foot over my right foot, just stuff like that. So that's where I'm at right now. But,
a lot of fun. Do you because what grade are you now?
I will be a fifth year this year because took a red shirt 1 year for a back surgery I had. So
what's it feel like as like you're kind of looking at your last two raw here?
Yeah, I don't think it's hit me yet as far as like, obviously I think I'm sure I'll be emotional once season gets here, but right now I'm seeing it more as like I have nothing to lose type of deal. Like we had a good season last year. I was producing. It's like I'm expecting the same of myself, not better. And so I'm seeing it more as like a why not go out on top versus let me be sad about this. It's going to suck regardless. So might as well just try to have a good season there. I'm excited for it, but we'll see if there's any plans for baseball after is the goal, but we'll see.
Oh, we'll be rooting for you. Shout out Wesleyan. I know quite a few people that actually went through Wesleyan and only had good things to say about it. I think Ellie went to Wesleyan.
Yes,
as well. You guys ever run into each other?
Oh, yeah. We were both communication studies majors. So I think like two, like maybe for sure one class a semester almost every year since sophomore year.
Oh, so you guys
yeah.
have known each other pretty
Yeah,
well.
we got pretty like good friends in sophomore year, and then it kind of just kept rolling since then. So
So is that how
it's
you
been
guys both ended up at the ticket?
no, actually, I didn't want to tell her that I was applying here for an internship because I didn't want if I didn't get it, I was like, I don't want her to know at all.
Yeah.
And so then I dropped the bomb in class the day I had my interview. I was like, oh yeah, I have an interview today where you work, and she did not believe it, but it was cool.
That's
Luckily, it worked
incredible.
out. So
That all worked out. Okay, that makes sense. Well, anyways, I just want to get a little bit more background on you. We're gonna switch it over. First things first, just since we already talked about it, I want to get your thoughts. UFC, a huge deal. Paramount Plus, CBS, $7.7 billion 7-year deal. You no longer have to buy pay-per-view over and over and over again to watch these fight nights. Again, if you just have Paramount Plus or CBS, you can watch the game. You can be at a bar and tell the bartender, hey, can you turn on fight card number 890? They can, because they don't have to go actually put in pay-per-view just to get the game on now. So people will be more willing. And of course, if you're at home, I'm super excited because I know I personally myself, for how much I enjoy watching it. When I do watch it, I don't watch enough of it.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things that's just harder to watch, especially on a weekend where there's there's a lot of stuff to watch over the weekend. And when one's asking you to pay and all the other ones aren't, it's a lot easier to not watch the one that's asking you to pay. How excited are you for UFC and this deal with Dana Holgerson and Paramount Plus?
Yeah, so I've barely started getting into the realm of UFC like maybe a couple years ago. I sat down once and I was like, let's just watch some of these YouTube clips, and I was like, yeah, there was a couple moments, minutes, probably not even days or anything, where I was like, I definitely want to be a UFC fighter now. That's not going to happen, but I'm completely excited for it. Like you're saying, like if it's going to be somewhat free, somewhat subscription based, which is cool too.
Yeah, he didn't fully pull away from some of the pay-per-view, to be fair.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He clarified that today.
Yeah, either way, though, I think it's going to bring more eyes to them. And then once this 7-year deal is over, who knows what direction they'll go. But I think it's going to definitely grow the sport of UFC for sure. And I'll be watching a lot more now, like you said. Like it was a lot easier of a choice if I want to watch some low D1 football for free or a UFC fight that I don't really know too much about, just based on what I've been watching. And so this is definitely going to get me more into the realm. I'm excited for it.
I'm very excited for it. It's just been that one sport in my life that I've been missing.
Yeah.
Like, because I know it's so good. And unfortunately, again, it just, especially when you start watching sports for a living, there's so many going on at the same time. And again, I'm cheap. I've always been cheap. I'm usually going to pick the one that's free.
Yep.
Even if it's not always the more preferred one. Now, obviously, there's major fights where you don't care. You find someone who does have it, or you just bite the bullet and go ahead and buy for yourself. Like, obviously, Khabib, McGregor, everyone was going to buy that one.
Yeah.
And, there's plenty of big ones, but I think that was the only one that reached such a level to where it felt like everybody in the world was ready to go. And ever since that point, UFC took off. Pay-per-views were doing better. And now they've hit this new altitude where, I don't know, how big do you think they can get? Like, can they ever surpass any of the major league sports?
I think,
because think of boxing in its prime. It was the thing. Yeah. So it's not like, I know it sounds crazy, but I like especially when you watch the NBA, the way it's skidding.
Yeah. I think it could at least, like specifically the NBA, I could see that happening. I think the NBA is definitely losing some just casual interest now. And I think if you throw UFC in there, I want to see some people fight. So I could see it, maybe not just surpassing it in a way, but kind of at least leveling the playing field. I think now it's going to become more mainstream, which is what they've been needing. And so I think I'd start grouping them up there, but I don't know if they're going to surpass it right away, or at least maybe not during this deal. But I think it's going to get pretty similar based. Yeah. Depending on what the NBA does, obviously, too. If they keep going down, then yeah. But
yeah, I have no idea how long it takes, but I think you're right. Like it now belongs with the constellations of what we call the great major sports in the U.S. Like it has the opportunity to. Now we'll see what the numbers look like, but man, those fights are the fight cards have gotten so good. And that's where you give Dana Holgerson a ton of credit, because he's found a way. He switched his mind on women being in there. First he thought people are never gonna really want to see women fight. They just want to see, the freak athlete guys and like especially the heavyweights. And then they discovered that, with Ronda Rousey and Holmes, that was the big one. As like, this thing pops off and sells, people love it. So now you get to add that to the fight card. You get some great woman fighters. And now again, this fan base is only going to get bigger. And you mentioned it. You kind of wanted to fight a little bit at one point. I
was
did
like,
too.
Like maybe I can do this. And then I kept watching. I was like, I can't do any of this. But it's definitely like a sport that you're watching. It's like I need to see more of this. So
and it's contagious. It's I think everyone tries it where they want to become a boxer or UFC fighter after they watch a fight. Did you ever actually try to attain it in any way? Did you do like any mixed martial arts or a fight club after school?
I did karate for like 2 days when I was a kid, but outside of that, no. Never.
Okay.
It was never my thing. I don't know why. I think I just wasn't coordinated for it. Maybe I was a little too big as a kid. Who knows? But I think I was also like, well, growing up, obviously I was a bigger kid more than not like just big. Let me throw that out there. But I was obviously going to be the one that was kind of like the bigger kid. I'm going to be the one that's kind of going to be D line, O line, whatever. And so it's like I was such a nice kid though that I couldn't see myself just hitting somebody either. So I think that kind of got in the way of me kind of diving more into some mixed martial arts if I had to fight somebody. As a kid, I don't think I could have done it. So
yeah, it was junior high. We started a fight club, but we wore the headgear, and we were, if we weren't wearing UFC gloves, we had like I think there was just legit boxing gloves.
Nice.
And we did that, and I'll tell you what, it's incredible how good of athletes they are.
Yeah.
And that stuff's really, really fun until you get hit.
Yeah.
And then you play that, you have that one loss, and it's like, okay, you're almost ready to be done. Yeah. And then that's why you probably watch these UFC fighters, and the love those guys have for the sport is insane, because not only are they, taking a loss, they're taking the most brutal hits sometimes and still getting back in there. And it's one of those rare sports where you'll smile at the winner and the loser, and you're just like, thank you for such an incredible sight to see, because those guys putting their bodies on the lines at times. I'm super excited for it. That's all I got on UFC. Anything else left to add on that?
No, I'm excited for it too. I wonder how I am curious how they came to that $7.7 billion number. I doubt we'll ever.
I think you
know.
just
But it's like, do you think that's what they're kind of making per year?
Well, I think you would like look at how much they're making on pay-per-view, and you kind of establish crazy. It's like, you know what, we've been dominating pay-per-view. People want us this bad. Like, if you want us to stop using pay-per-view for all this, you better give us a fat check. What's a long-term deal? And I think they just had to leverage on that one with their data of like, we're growing, the numbers show it, and people will literally go out of their way to watch us.
Yeah, no, that's a huge deal, but I think it's gonna work out awesome for him. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I love it. 7 years, $7.7 billion deal. All right, I'll let you guide the next part. What's really caught your mind? All of sports world that we can talk about for 10 minutes since the last time we spoke. Obviously, you got football starting up, volleyball starting up, Husker Red White scrimmage, WNBA drama, some drama that we just won't talk about because we like to be family friendly here on 93.7 The Ticket. Man, what else has been crazy? NBA's been pretty silent. De'Aaron Fox got a crazy contract that I couldn't believe they gave him that extension. Other than that, we got
him on that 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
229. Wow.
I like Fox. I would never give him that much money.
Yeah, I'm a semi Spurs fan now that I care about basketball again for the last couple of years. Wemby helps, so that's awesome. But that is a lot of money for him. I mean, like I said, I think he's definitely a great basketball player. They got some good rookies that they got too, so they have not some issues there at all. But
it just seems like the polar opposite of what Victor needs, though.
Yeah, you got to have someone that can build around kind of Wemby, I think, especially just like the way he can do everything. So
he's just such a slasher, and like De'Aaron Fox wants to go to the rim and kill you at the rim. That's Victor Wembanyama's strength, is just being around the rim. So it's like two of your most expensive players. Well, Victor will be are just both really living around the rim. Now it's always so weird when you watch Victor Wembanyama shoot threes, because even if he like makes 3 in a row, you're still kind of like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, he just doesn't look like he should be doing that. No. And it's like, oh, he's 6 for 10 right now. Okay, keep shooting. I'm cool with it. But
but at the same time, it's like, but I think you might be 100% if you just go in there.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I always thought, like, obviously the weight and height difference is going to help him for sure, or at least the height difference. The weight's that's always been the talks, I think. But like, you're already higher than everyone's going to be in that room. Might as well just try to throw something up. But
yeah, it's
a lot easier said than done for sure.
That's incredible. I want to ask you this then. So you Spurs fan? I didn't realize that. Semi Spurs fan. Tim Duncan, where does he rank in centers? Where do you think?
In terms of like power forwards, I would say he's probably the best.
Yeah, power forwards.
Yeah, I can't. Sure. Like, I know people
put those two together because I I get
No,
it.
yeah,
Not
at
true
least big
center,
men,
but
yeah.
yeah, big men.
I just think in terms of center, my answer is probably Shaq there. I just think that dude was just so dominant, and it was like sure we're gonna see other big men like DeMarcus Cousins, but no one obviously nowhere near Shaq's level. But I got Shaq as my center goat, and
I
then
do too. That's the right answer.
yeah,
I think.
I think Tim Duncan's the greatest power forward of all time, though. Like I always hear the Dirk comparisons, and I think Dirk is an amazing athlete. His ring was probably one of the toughest rings we've seen in recent history for sure. And so I respect him. I appreciate what he's done, but Tim Duncan is just like there was never really anything that dude ever did wrong, and that's just crazy.
I don't know if they win a single ring without him.
Yeah, the way
Even
they
if they
built
get
that team,
Ginobili,
yeah,
Parker, Kawhi Leonard,
you
like
needed all three of them to be clicking together, and they were. It was crazy.
oh man, Mr. Fundamental. He
Yep.
might get the most disrespect out of any center. But
Yeah.
I keep saying center, any big man,
Yeah, yeah.
power forward, big man.
Yeah, most slept on for sure. Like I see, like it's obviously a lot of kids on TikTok probably in the comments, but they're like just not fans of Tim Duncan. It's usually just, oh, he was born, but it's like he has 5 rings, 4 rings, 4 or 5, 4 probably, but still,
It might be fun. Let me look it up real quick for Tim Duncan because Tim Duncan's just an absolute savage. And yeah, like I mean, you can
He
be
could
like,
get
oh,
5.
he's
Yeah,
boring, he's
5.
not flashy, but you got done playing Tim Duncan. You look up at the end, he's like, wait, you got 27 and 12
Exactly.
boards, and you got 5 assists, and I got blocked 3 times by
Yeah.
you. Like you just like that's Mr. Fundamental. He
Yeah.
kills you before you even know you're dead, and that's why I'm always such a big Tim Duncan
Yeah, no,
defender.
he's
The same way I
elite.
defend Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah.
Let's see, Tim Duncan rings. How many has this guy got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nice. Yeah,
Like come
that
on.
is insane.
That's what you're talking about when you talk about some of the best big men to ever do it. That is Tim Duncan in a nutshell.
Yep.
Man, it must have been brutal watching the Suns after all that fell apart, or not the Suns, the Spurs.
Yeah. After that, it was just because then they had that whole Kawhi incident where he was hurt, but he wasn't hurt. He just wasn't playing, and then it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, nothing really came around again until the Wemby talks, and then they got him, which was still crazy. But
Were you
been-
just
been a
closer to San Antonio, or did you just pick them because you like the culture over there?
yeah, no, I mean, I'm definitely like right in the middle of the city, so it kind of just made more sense. Growing up, I was more of a fan of players, though. That's always been kind of my thing into sports. But so I've always been a huge LeBron fan, and so when they ended up playing the Heat in the finals, I kind of sided with the Heat there, sadly. But I needed to see him win a ring, and he did, so it was awesome. But outside of that, I think just being in the city, like you see, it's kind of like similar to Husker fans in a way. I think Husker fans are more passionate. Don't get me wrong, but everywhere you go in San Antonio, everybody's a Spurs fan, and so you at least have that in common. And I think it's just crazy. Like you see people with Spurs tattoos, Spurs stickers on the back of their trucks. Like
They're loyal.
yes,
I'll
like
give 'em
it
that.
is a huge deal to be a Spurs fan in San Antonio. So I always enjoyed the fan base. Always enjoyed Coach Pop. Like I always loved watching them play. I was just never a fan of anybody else besides LeBron growing up as a kid. So that just made it tough. But
You were that Kobe versus LeBron. You were the kid screaming LeBron.
yes, all the time.
Do you remember that? If anybody's in my age group, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about because I was the Kobe Bryant defender. I just thought he was incredible.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, history proved that, like, I was kind of right.
Yeah,
Like, this
no,
guy's
not wrong at all.
beast, but so is LeBron. I'm not
Yeah.
just slim, but Kobe was by far more than just the quote unquote selfish player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his mentality is what made him who he was.
yeah.
But do you remember that meme that went around, like early memes when they first really a thing, where it was like Kobe Bryant's PlayStation controller, and it was only the X button because
Yes.
all Kobe Bryant does is shoot.
Just shoot.
He had a brutal slander period for a while,
Yeah.
and you could argue some of it rightfully so. But you look at everything Kobe did. I know me and Tristan mentioned it, but one of the coolest moments is he rips that Achilles and he's like, "Let me go back to
Mhm.
back, knock down these free throws so our boys can get the win still."
Yeah.
And then Halliburton talks about, when during the playoffs, and he's first thing he thought of was Kobe hitting him, and he like pushed up
Tried and he just could not.
and he put like just an ounce of pressure on it. I was like, oh my Lord,
Yeah.
that no way in hell I'm gonna do this. So yeah, just there are certain players where I'm similar to you, where they will sway me. Like I'm a
Yeah.
Bulls guy, but Kobe Bryant, it was hard not to root for a guy like that. Let's see, we got about a few more minutes left here. Since we're on the NBA already, we'll just go ahead and stay there. Give me the 2 best teams. Well, I won't do that. Give me your way, way, way too early favorites in the East. Because I think the West, you can literally just pick anybody you want. Over in the East, it's a mess. Because I don't know what the Boston Celtics are going to be anymore. The Indiana Pacers, they're going to be without Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah,
So it's like, you don't feel great. And the New York Knicks, they get rid of Tibbs, who'd they bring in? I can't remember who they bring in.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I'm not
matter.
sure.
I think it was a lateral move. It was a very similar coaching style to Tibbs. I can't blanking on who it was. Might have been Budenholzer.
I think so.
Either way, though, East is a mess. I don't feel good about anybody in there. Maybe the Cavs. The Cavs feel the most sturdy.
That's they're kind of like a similar to the Brewers for me, where it's like you look over and it's like, oh wow, they're winning 64 games, and so I think they're always a team that's going to just keep their head right in there. And so I mean, it's especially with the injuries to the Celtics, the Pacers. Like I think right now they kind of emerge as that clear favorite for me. Anything can happen, obviously, sure, but I think with how consistent they've kind of been the last couple of years of just producing solid records year in and year out recently, I'm cool with it. I like them.
Let's see if they can break through. Knicks, I'm not scared of. I just think they made a bunch of knucklehead moves firing their head coach like that. NBA this might have been like the two toughest years I think I've ever had trying to figure out who's going to make it all the way through. Because all these teams are so balanced. Like even if you look at the West, last season's regular season standings at the end were unreal.
Yeah.
Every single team in the West was pretty much tied by and the only thing separating was a tiebreaker game, or I'm not even kidding, like half a game apart. It was that close. I don't know what that is. We just have kind of fallen off of like having the elite series because went from Warriors, Cavs, Spurs, Spurs, Heat.
Yeah.
That was kind of. Then you had the Celtics, Lakers.
Yep. Yeah,
Feels like we're running out of dynasties.
I was just gonna say that. I think we definitely are. Which probably growing up, I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be great when that happens." But it's like I don't hate it either. But it's like, yeah, like I kind of miss it now. Like I want to see those rivalries just heat up. Game 7 of the finals. It's like, okay, like this is Braun versus Curry right here. I love it. And like obviously, it's good to get those young guys in there. I'm glad the Thunder won a championship. That was awesome. But like, I kind of like that. I feel like those rivalries in the finals, or at least in the playoffs, just along the way, are kind of what. Looking back now, it's like I probably shouldn't have been hating on those as much.
I know, especially like I was such a fool to be upset about the Warriors and Cavs.
Yeah,
because again, you don't get that 3-1 comeback, and
exactly.
Not a LeBron fan. I'm pretty open about that all the time, but man, I can't deny like, all right, that was sick.
Yeah,
like I don't know how you pulled that off, but you beat. And again, think about that Warriors team. They had what? 8 losses?
I think it might have been 9.
9 losses?
I think so. I think they went 73-9, one better than the Bulls team.
That's right.
But yeah, still,
and
either
they
way,
lost after being up 3-1. Like that is what you call a rivalry in the greatest of forms. So I do miss that part.
Yeah.
Like every good story needs a good antagonist and a good protagonist. If you're just rewriting the new character every year, like it's hard to really invest in him.
Exactly.
And I did want to look it up about. It does feel like we're over with dynasties. So we'll look at it with starting 2000. We'll just do the last 20 years. So you got Lakers win 1, 2, 3 straight. Now they're playing against a different opponent all those years, but again, Lakers, Lakers are the enemy right now. That's the villain until somebody takes them down. And then it's the San Antonio Spurs. And then the Lakers are back. Then it's the Spurs. Dallas Mavericks sneak in for 1. And every now and then you just get an incredible underdog story. So it's fine there. And then again, Spurs dynasty, Lakers. Now you're going back and forth between the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. And let's see, Miami Heat's turn, San Antonio, and then we're finally out of that. And then it becomes the Cleveland Golden State back and forth over and over. And then when you get to 2019, it just kind of stinks.
Yeah.
Because then you get the Raptors, then you get the Lakers, then you get the Bucks, then you get the Warriors, then you get the Nuggets, then you get the Celtics, then you get the Thunder. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different champions in 7 different years. Yeah. No one could stay the best for longer than a season. And I wonder if that's part of like why the NBA is struggling today.
Maybe. I think it could be like a fan base following type of thing too. Like obviously I think the Warriors fans should be sticking around, but it's the same with any sport in my opinion. If your team's just not producing at what you think they should be or what they have been, it's like you lose that interest. And I think that's happening across the league too. So
yeah, and then the officials aren't helping.
Oh yeah. I think it's probably getting
my biggest gripe every year. It's like they come out there and bang on their chest like, we're going to really get on you guys if you start flopping. And it's like 3 weeks in. It's like, you're just kidding. Well, you guys can do whatever you want.
Matters now.
Yeah, because I get it. It's a hard job. I'm not saying it's not a hard job, but it gets to a point where it's not the player's fault. It becomes a part where it's like the commissioner and officials. This is your problem you're creating because you're rewarding it. It's like parents that spoil their kids, and then they're like, "I'm such a great parent." It's like your kid just broke 5 bottles of whiskey in the aisle. You're not a great parent. You're just spoiling the hell out of them, rewarding them for everything. So with that being said, the NBA's they've got some problems to fix. And that's why, to go full circle here, I think the UFC's got an interesting opportunity to join the constellations of what we consider the major sports in the U.S. So don't go anywhere. We'll switch it over to some NFL preseason. I know Rudy's unfortunately, a Cowboys fan. We'll talk about that next right here, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Play ball! Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets. Batter up! Join us this summer at Haymarket Park for 50 action-packed Salt Dogs games running now through August. Visit saltdogs.com for updates on everything you need to know about weekly promotions, giveaways, and special events. That's where you'll find the latest updates to make sure you catch all the excitement and never miss a homestand you want to attend. Haymarket Park is your ticket to fun all summer long. Visit saltdogs.com to get your tickets and unleash the fun. Play ball! Pitch the perfect idea for a family outing or date night with tickets to the next Salt Dogs game. Nothing says summer fun like an action-packed evening at Haymarket Park. Come root for the home team with a hot dog and a cold drink. Plus, visit saltdogs.com to learn about special events and promotions, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the thrill and excitement of a Salt Dogs win. Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today.
In Nebraska, we show up when friends need help. We check in on our neighbors. That's why it's important to know the warning signs of suicide. If you have a friend or neighbor who's withdrawn, stressed, agitated, or talks about suicide, find out how you can help. Call, text, or chat 988 for 24/7 support. You have the power to save a life. Paid for by the University of Nebraska Public Policy Center. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in the station.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
But it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, race fans, to the finish line every Sunday night. I'm James Rowland. Join Bree Marie and me every Sunday from 7 to 8 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket FM or theticketfm.com for the finish line. All the latest news for local and national motorsports, all in one place. 93.7 The Ticket FM.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Arens and Arns on the ones and twos. We got Rudy joining me to my left, and we got NFL preseason happened all last weekend. Plenty of games to talk about, plenty of games to look forward to coming up this week and weekend. Rudy, what stuck out to you most just so far through the early rumblings that is the National Football League?
One that I've definitely been watching for was Shador Sanders, and so
It was nice.
yeah,
I'll give it to him.
I think he definitely didn't move up in the depth chart. I think I saw that today, maybe that they had posted their unofficial depth chart of the week for Cleveland. And so he's still behind Dylan Gabriel, which
That was just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but practices, maybe there's more to it.
Yeah. I think he should still be behind Flacco and Pickett just because they got the experience above him for now. But I think he definitely played a lot better than people were thinking. I'm sure there was a lot of people waiting for him to just play bad too. So it was cool that he at least had a serviceable game. I think a lot of the rookies are at least they're not going out there and they're not doing amazing things off the rip, which is expected. But I think a lot of them, for the most part, have been playing pretty decent in terms of where they're expected to be. Like, I think Travis Hunter had a decent game. He didn't do anything crazy, but he didn't look out of place. Cam Ward, I'm excited
He
for
did
him.
get stiffed arm once, which was pretty funny.
Oh, he did? Okay, then maybe I missed that.
he got buried on a stiff arm. And that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And there's some rookies, I will say, I have to correct myself because I feel terrible. I was watching Monangai, obviously Rutgers. I'm a Chicago Bears fan. And if you just watch the runs, I was like, this guy's incredible. Like, we nailed it with this pick. And then all of a sudden, I was watching him all the times he was in pass protection. He got lit up so bad every single time. It didn't, like, Majan didn't have a chance if Monangai was in pass protection. So, like, that's the stuff where, preseason's a little bit tricky. You can't get lost in the stats, especially when you're looking at running backs. Like, how's that protection? Monangai's got a lot of work to go.
Yeah.
So I went from super high on him, like if you heard me yesterday, to, oh my God, I don't trust him at all in a situation where he's got to pass protect.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, I'm not kidding. Dude was getting sent like 3 yards back into Bajent, who was playing in the game there. So that really stuck out to me in terms of rookies. And then, some of the other faces, like Jordan Love. That's so great. Kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
And then Adrian Martinez, still alive. He played really good for the Jets. And I think Adrian Martinez, he can probably slide into that number 2 backup spot.
Yeah, because who's he behind right now besides
Justin Fields, and then who is the other quarterback out there? Do a quick depth chart look for me and see who he's got to beat. But especially on the way Justin Fields plays, if you get to that backup 2 spot, you're never hoping for a QB to get hurt.
Yeah,
but there would be a legit opportunity because he is just kind of a scrambles a lot, really trusts his legs. And he played good in preseason too. Shout out to his running back for one of the best acting gigs I've ever seen. I don't know if you caught that play where he's scrambling to the corner of the end zone there, and his running back, who notices Fields is scrambling, just throws his hands up like, oh my God, I got a touchdown coming right to me, and completely sells that defensive back, or I can't remember if it was the safety, and then just trails them to the corner of the end zone. And I want to keep saying Williams because, Fields and Williams are both Chicago Bears, but Fields easily walks in because of that act. Who is the backup?
Tyrod Taylor's a second string right now, and I think he is missing. He hasn't suited up yet for preseason, it says here, and it's because he got a knee surgery.
Yeah.
So he could definitely take it over. I think Adrian Martinez played really well, like we said. And so, I think he at least gets some looks at moving up for sure. But with that QB room, anything can happen. So, it's a good sign for him for sure.
Yeah, and you still got some more time. Like obviously he'll be back. Just being cautious with preseason. But he's done such a good job responding to what was Nebraska. And I hate to throw our own university under the bus, but we could not have done a worse thing for really his career.
Yeah.
Outside of year 1, we got him really beat up and hurt, and we kept putting him out there with no help. And then he went to Kansas State, and he finally has some success. Although there's a little bit of quarterback kind of back and forth, because I think everyone was surprised how good that entire quarterback room was. And then was it Omaha Stallions? People really forget about him. And then he goes and wins the championship and also the MVP and gets the award from Tom Brady. And all of a sudden, Adrian Martinez is back on everyone's map, and now he's with the Jets. And then you see him in preseason. It's like, hold on. The Adrian Martinez experiment is still not done.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for him. Other guys that are Huskers that you watch out there that excited you. I know Ty Robinson. I saw him get his first sack, and then Fedoni as well had a sick grab with the Giants.
Yeah, I think I didn't really see too many Huskers.
There's not a ton out there.
Yeah,
just
at least
yet,
kind of pop up. I saw that one thing that really stood out to me, and it kind of impacted my dynasty fantasy league I'm in. I traded Ashton Gency. I don't think that he outside of just the stats on him, because I think it says right here he had 3 carries for 1 yard. I don't think that's any of his fault either. But that offensive line is atrocious.
I know.
And I think no matter how good he is, it's going to be a similar result if they're playing an above average D line, even at that, to what happened in the college football playoffs, in my opinion. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong. I want him to be good, and it's not even going to be on him. But they are going to have to rebuild that line if they want to get Ashton Gency to where he needs to be there. And I think with Geno Smith, I think with Geno Smith, Brock Bowers, and Ashton Gency, I should be more hyped up on them. But that line outside of probably just Bowers is not going to be protecting him very much.
That's good to call too, because that's what happened to Josh Jacobs. Jacobs was awesome on the Raiders. And then their offensive line, I can't remember if it was all through injuries, trades, or contracts and players just moving on, but all of a sudden their line got noticeably weaker, and they didn't do a whole lot to really fix it or patch it up. And then it was, wow, this Josh Jacobs guy sucks. And it's like, can you guys give him a little bit of help? He's getting destroyed in the backfield. There's no time for him to gain any momentum. Yeah. You're letting the linebackers just fly through. They're barely having to make any sort of effort to fight through the gaps. And it just doesn't matter how great of a bat, unless you have Saquon Barkley. But even then,
yeah, even the way they were getting in there, it was just wow.
And
I'm sure some of those were second team reps that I saw too. But to start the game, it was just wasn't great.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if it's second team or third team. It's all preseason. If your team's getting just absolutely beat up, you don't want to see that.
No, yeah, absolutely.
You want your depth to at least be close to other NFL teams' depth, because then, if it's a blowout, you still know you got a problem.
Yeah.
And where it's our depth is not really doing a whole lot.
Exactly.
And there's going to be crazy games in there where you try a quarterback and maybe he does throw 3 picks.
Yeah.
Not so much depth, maybe just the wrong quarterback that day. But yeah, I noticed that with Josh Jacobs, and we should do that. We got 5 minutes. Give me the don'ts. Fantasy football, tempting, but don't.
Oof. All right. I think one of mine, even as a Packers fan, I think probably not Matthew Golden right now.
Okay.
I think from some of the reports I've been seeing, obviously he has the talent, but a lot of people are projecting him to kind of be in a similar to Xavier Worthy role, which is Texas Longhorns, yeah. But more of just a streaky guy for now. Just run down the field, get open type of deal, which is fine. But I don't think Jordan Love has been, at least off of the injuries he's kind of had recently, just someone who's looking for a speed guy down the field. So I hope he at least accommodates to that a little better. But in terms of I don't know, I'm
Kyle
big
Pitts.
I'm big on, probably not Kyle Pitts.
He's just too many years in a row where it's really been upsetting. Mark Andrews, tight ends there, because last year, remember, it was
Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, it was Isaiah Likely. Took over.
They just started splitting, and then
and not even splitting. It was like Mark Andrews, get out of the picture.
Yeah.
I know all too well because I had him.
Okay.
Nothing's going to change this year.
Yeah, I believe it.
If you still think he just had a bad year, no, they moved on from him.
Especially the way they're kind of crafting that offensive scheme, between, because there's a lot of football to be passed around there on that team.
Yeah.
You got Derrick Henry, you got Lamar Jackson. Just that backfield alone is probably going to win you more games than not. And so I think that if anything, if he is in there, he's going to be there for a pure tight end kind of blocking role from now on. Maybe, obviously not every play, but
yeah. And the one play, the biggest play, he dropped it anyway. So it just was not a great year for Mark Andrews, and he's still going to be out there. But don't be expecting a bounce back, because there's nothing to bounce back from. I think they have shifted to Likely being the more threatening wide receiver, and he looked awesome. It'd be kind of hard not to lean that way, and you can still use Mark Andrews, but I just think on a consistent basis, it's never going to be the same again.
Yeah,
unless he's on a different team and Likely's not there.
Yeah, because Isaiah Likely, I'm a big fan of his too.
So good. He caught everybody off guard. And that happens every year. There's always a player like Cooper Kupp who someone picks up, and then there's oh, okay, this is just going to be the best player in fantasy this year, or the best wide receiver. Other guys that make me nervous, I have to really think here. Running backs, I think Genty's a great one. Saquon, Derrick Henry's are steals.
Yeah.
And for obvious reasons. Wide receivers, I think CD Lamb can be a little overvalued at times.
Yeah, I think so. As well.
That 2 years ago, he made like everybody's like he's the best. And
yeah.
Last year was really disappointing. Like he had some good games, but
yeah, I think that because I think he had like a shoulder injury towards the end of the year too that kind of messed with that. But I don't think Dak Prescott is the type of quarterback that's going to be able to like. I'm not big on Dak at all. I've always said that, and like he wins games. He has great years. I can't discredit his talent, but in terms of helping out my fantasy wide receivers, it's more on CD Lamb in that case than it is on Dak Prescott. So I mean, if I'm not big on Dak Prescott, I don't know. I like CD Lamb. I think he's a great fantasy player. He kind of helped me win my league 2 years ago.
it just really depends where you're at with him. I think
Exactly.
like if you have the if because he's gonna be early, right? Like you're not gonna catch him later.
Yeah,
and
no.
like when I go bust, like if that's your, if you're the say it's a 12-man league like me, and I get to 12, and like a lot of people have kind of been picking up wide receivers, and at that point I might just go, let's go to a different position group and stick him with the receivers. And I'm like, that might be crazy because if he's there at 12, I think you're definitely going to go ahead and take him. But you kind of get what I'm saying when there's certain values where if he's super, super early, I would pass.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
let
there's
somebody
better
else
ones
take a swing.
that early on for sure. Obviously, like
Well, let's just go through it. Justin Jefferson,
yep,
Higgins, Chase. Yeah, you could debate Higgins.
I'm big on DJ Moore actually.
I like DJ Moore a lot. He's awesome.
I think he's gonna have a good year. I'm big on Lad McConkey. I think he's gonna have a great year again. I don't know. I think a lot of these Puka. I'm big on Puka having a great year this year actually. So trying to work some trades for him somewhere, but.
I think CD Lamb's probably still just he's really good. Last year was such a tough one to read for him because there was drama on top of one of the worst years from Dak. On top of, can we cover CD Lamb? Yeah, we're good. We don't really need to worry about everybody else.
I think George Pickens should open up some more slots for him this year now.
Mm-hmm.
I think you get George Pickens with because that's the thing. I don't hate on Dak as much as I sound. I think he's definitely one of the topper quarterbacks in the league. And so I think if you at least pair him up with George Pickens, it should work out a little better than what he's had in Pittsburgh. So I'm excited for that.
All right. Now give me the one quarterback that you shouldn't touch.
Ooh, shouldn't touch.
I think it might be Justin Fields, maybe.
Yeah.
Because that's a trap. Like if you try to be the first guy to get if someone gets Lamar and then you're like, oh, let me counter this. He's inconsistent. It works. It definitely works for him at times, but I won't bet entire fantasy football season.
Yeah, no, I'd probably be out on Tua too. That's one that Tua, and I'm not out on Penix as far as Dynasty League goes, but I don't think I'm big on him either right now. I think he's going to have a great career. I'm a big fan of him. He torched the Longhorns in the Alamo or in the college football playoffs 2 years ago. So I know how good he is. I just think same thing, kind of like the Baltimore situation. There's just too much ball to go around. You got some good wide receivers. You got Bijan back there. Like there's a lot of production you're going to get from the entire team. So I think from a fantasy standpoint, I don't hate him. Take him if you can, but he's not someone that I'm huge on right now either.
Yeah, and then Aaron Rodgers, if you want to say a no-brainer, like he'll probably go undrafted. You can just pick him up in free agency when you want.
I have him on like my bench in case I ever need a quarterback.
Yeah. It depends. You can go try to stack receivers too, but you got to be careful with the stacking because again, last year I stacked Dak and CD. Bad year to stack. It seemed like a golden move, and then we saw how the season played out. And that's where you got to look at the team as a whole sometimes.
Yeah,
because on paper the Cowboys did nothing to be better, and they just got blown out like crazy. What was the final score of that Packers game?
Oh, that was.
Sorry to do it to you. Round 1. Everyone's oh. So they're coming off that loss. An embarrassing loss. They lost a decent amount of their talent. They lost, some crucial parts of their offensive line. And Jerry Jones is like, yeah, run it back and go win. All he did was get worse. Nobody got better. And you kind of saw the result of that. So, that was me stacking on, well, it was the number one offense last year. You should just be able to repeat. You look towards the end of the year and how they got dismantled. And then all the pieces they lost is like, that was a bad move. Great players. The stacked worked before, but like if you read the tea leaves, wasn't in the cards.
I'm just not big on how they're kind of handling just a lot of things on there. Like the Micah Parsons thing is obviously the biggest thing for him right now.
It's just embarrassing too when you do stuff like that.
Especially because where the issue's coming from. It's all realistically Jerry Jones, which sucks because they have the money to be an elite team every single year, and he's really just stopping them from being good. And
Rudy, there was a handshake.
Yeah.
Good old fashioned, and he wrote it on a napkin.
Insane.
He does negotiate like it's the 70s.
Yeah.
Or the
He's an
80s.
interesting dude. But if they can invest more of that into the team, they'd be elite.
I don't know. Jerry Jones, Tepper. There's quite a few bad owners. What's the Bengals owner? He's one of the worst. You can look that up. We can talk about the worst owners maybe another day. But
Mike
don't go
Brown.
anywhere. What was it?
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown. Yep. Thank you. That is another probably one of the cheaper ones in the NFL. All right, we got to throw it the break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep talking some more football here with Rudy. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Talk to you guys in a little bit.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something. Something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hey racing fans, this is Brie Marie inviting you to join me and James Rowland for the Finish Line every Sunday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Catch up with the local dirt track drivers, national racers, and everyone you need to know about in the world of racing. Don't spin your wheels, hit the gas, and join us Sundays at 7 p.m. for the Finish Line on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
their age,
the way they speak. Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. And over the break, I just got upset looking at some QB rankings. I'm not going to go into my soapbox of the Bears and Caleb Williams. I'm sure plenty of you guys think he will do horrible and the Bears will never find a quarterback. You might be right. I hope that's not the case, though. Ben Johnson at the helm. Hopefully we can turn things around. But, Rudy, I wanted to ask you, give me 2 quarterbacks this year, and I don't care if they can be young or old. 2 you'll buy, 2 you'll sell. And buy as in you like that you think they'll do more than what the media expects them. And then sell is you think they will vastly underperform. And I'll start off. Sell Daniels.
Okay.
I just think, and it's not me just purely hating, sophomore slumps are real.
Yeah.
And not everyone goes through. It's not like it has to happen every single year, but you saw it with CJ Stroud, and it doesn't mean they became worse as a quarterback. It just means defensive coordinators got used to what you like and what you don't. So I'm gonna sell on him. He'll still be really good, and I think the Commanders will be good. I just don't think he'll have nearly as much consistency as he did last year.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. I think me personally, I'm not really for a reason either. I've just never been big on Drake May, and maybe I should be, maybe I shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't think he's one that I'm buying in on yet. I think he's good, and I have nothing against the way he plays. Last year he had in 13 games 2,270 passing yards, cool, 15 touchdowns, but 10 interceptions. And it's like in 10 games, I'm not a huge fan of that.
How many TDs and interceptions?
He had 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Yeah, I'll sell it with you.
Yeah, I think he has the potential to be great, but I'm just not big on him right now, especially with the team around him. Like, it's getting better. I think Stephon Diggs as his wide receiver 1 could maybe revamp Diggs' career, but even outside of that, I'm not huge on the whole scheme they got for him right now.
I like the coaching change though.
Oh yeah,
that'll help him out tremendously. Let's see here. Now, two guys I would buy on. Buying's a lot harder trying to figure it out because there's a lot of guys I'd like to sell on. You know who I'll buy? Brock Purdy.
Okay.
I think he just kind of got wrote off and people completely forgot about him. And the other one, I don't like it. Jim Harbaugh upset me so much at Michigan. Give me Justin Herbert.
Okay.
I think the Chargers are finally ready to have a year, and they really need to because that division, it's so good. You have to be an elite level quarterback to stay alive, especially now that the Raiders have finally upgraded.
Yeah, for sure. I think one that I'm interestingly big on is Bryce Young. I think obviously the way he started last year was one you want to forget. That was not great, but I think the way he bounced back, it showed the fans like, okay, like this is, and a couple of those games, he had a couple instances where I was like, yeah, this guy, that's the talent we were looking for. And I think he needed to show himself that too. And so I think he should be trending up. I like where he ended the season with, so I'm cool with him there. And one that won me over that I was not sold on at all is Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is a great quarterback. I think he's only going to get better. I think it obviously just depends on what they do around him there too.
I couldn't even buy him because I think everyone is like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm big
it's
on
like
him,
a discussion.
I was not big on him at all last year. I thought it was a horrible pick. I can't lie, but
I started to get swayed a little bit towards the end there, and I was definitely more in the wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not some football. I was more in the wrong, but I heard some older heads than me kind of talk about it, and then I flipped my tune on JJ McCarthy a little bit as well.
I'm not big on JJ McCarthy at all. I can't do that. I'm not. I don't think if Sam Darnold can make the Vikings contenders for a bit, I'm cool with that. That was great. I don't think he's going to play bad. I just don't think we're going to get a new version of him from what he did in college as far as his pocket presence and throwing the ball. So that's what if he can, he can. That's the one thing.
That's why I thought he was like solid with his pocket presence.
Well, I just mean more as long as like, for me is what I meant more just his just like deep ball ability. Like, he's never been a deep ball quarterback, which is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to see that more out of him. Like, I think he had more games in college that he didn't cross like a certain threshold of pass yards that I like to see. And obviously weather conditions helped one of those games. I believe it was against Penn State. He had like 60 passing yards. And I don't hate on that. I don't bring that up every day, but I want my quarterback with an elite receiver like Justin Jefferson. I want him to be able to throw that deep ball down there, hit him. I want him to get the most value out of Jay Jettas that he can.
I think he can hit that deep ball more than people expect. I mean,
no, absolutely.
I think with him playing at Michigan, and I always go to this. It's the same thing that Nick Saban did when he played weaker opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just run the ball.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care. We don't need to risk any. I will throw it around the yard a bit, but we're just going to just blow you up because we are tougher, stronger, and we can run the ball. And if we run the ball, then this game will go by a lot quicker because we're not only going to beat you, we're going to crush you. And, you think of games where, Michigan came here and played Nebraska. It's like, that's what they like to do.
Yeah.
Get out ahead, just do it by running the ball. And then pretty soon it's like, felt like the fastest game ever, but you're at halftime and it's like, we're down by 27-0. What the hell's going on? Or 31-0. So I kind of think that's the philosophy that Michigan goes by. And, Could be wrong. Well, I'll be dead wrong if we, roll out into the regular season. I see JJ McCarthy just throwing ducks left and right on those deep balls, and then I'll eat crow on it. But I'm just a little unsure because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, no,
Michigan really didn't ask him much to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they won a national championship without him throwing a deep ball, so I get that for sure. But I think kind of hypocritical. I think last year, like his pre-camp reports before he got hurt last year, he was winning me over. So I think there's definitely that potential to win me over. Just right now, I'm more on the
skeptic,
the sell than anything. Yeah, just for now. But he definitely could change my mind, and if he does, I'm there for it. But we'll see.
If he is good, like my lord, we got a quarterback problem going on. Like all the old heads, they got to be sweating a little bit because you look around. It's like we talked about CJ Stroud. I think he'll be all right, and then he'll bounce back. It's just that sophomore slump a little tough. We saw it with Bo Nix. JJ McCarthy, if he's anything good, Michael Penix Jr., if he's good, we're still waiting on Caleb Williams. Justin Herbert's not like a super old guy yet. There's a lot of really good guys. And then next year, Manning's certainly going to pop up. And unless the Browns are drafting again, then, we'll probably have to wait for 2 years. I don't if it's like the Panthers or Browns, like I generally don't think he's going to declare.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. I think his grandpa said he might be staying another year anyways. So,
well, Texas is going to pay him like $1 billion just to hang out.
I hope they do. I hope they do.
Oh, that's right. God, I keep forgetting. Since we're on it, your thoughts. And you got 60 seconds. Your thoughts. The Texans deserve to be number one on the preseason AP poll.
I think for the talent they have, the way that team's going to be, and the trend of how they've been lately, I'm cool with it. I think it is scary as a Longhorn fan to be number one, though. I can't lie. But I think it's there. I think the ranking of the top three is maybe flipped. I'd probably have Ohio State second. That's all. But that's where I'm at.
The arrogance of the Texas fans. Yep. I'm not gonna lie. If I
got to be happy, we were horrible. We had Casey Thompson as our quarterback before y'all, so we had it rough.
We liked Casey.
I did not.
Was the problem.
I did not.
Nonetheless, that's gonna wrap it up for us. We will see if Texas is truly the number one team in the country at the start of college football. But that's Rudy. I'm Harrison. Appreciate you guys listening. Best of the ticket coming up next, and your Kansas City Royals still leading 8-4, top of the 8th inning.